Hi, I'm Dr. Rajani. Thanks for joining me today for a skincare segment. We did talk about glass skin, glowing skin. Today I'm talking about a topical product, possibly one of my favorite. I always hesitate to say that I have several favorites, but this is definitely top 3, if not top 1. And there's many reasons for it. One is it does so much, it helps with so many things. But specifically in the summertime or people who are in climates where there is sun, it's very easy on the skin, meaning there's not a lot of dermatitis, irritation, redness. In fact, it helps with redness, and it can be used instead of, say, retinols or retinoics for those who are sensitive and don't want to use it in the summertime or in the sun. But it's an all year round for me. Let's dive into this Raji's quick clip on my favorite skincare ingredient all around or just summer. I'm going to say all around. I think I'll go that far. I'm on the edge today. 3 seconds. Okay, so this ingredient does several things. It helps with solar damage or sunspots. It brightens the skin, which is something I like the most about it, but it also helps with acne. So it was in one of the first products that I still have today that I made, which is my advanced firming cream. And a lot of the moms were using it for their kids because it was a moisturizer, but they found the acne was getting better. And I said, what ingredient is that? Well, niacinamide, okay, vitamin B3, and brown spots, acne, what a lot of females, especially skin type 1 to 3 or with lighter skin, are going to like. It helps with reds. So not only does it help with sun damage, meaning that it brightens the skin, it has a melanocyte or melanosome function. Melanosomes kind of move the pigment cells around. But and when in the studies, what happens is when people are exposed to sun, when they're on niacinamide, they don't get as much erythema or redness. Okay, also helps with rosacea. And why I said skin type 1 to 3, lighter skin tones, and I did a video on IPL and showed you my favorite treatment for rosacea. Well, obviously combinations are always better, and the 1-2 punch of niacinamide cream and IPL, because a lot of treatments for things like rosacea, you need to come at it from different angles, and skin smoothing effect. So sun damage, brown spots, it helps with glow, making the skin look good. Some people say pores. I do other things for pores. I have a whole video on pores. If it helps, fine. I can't say particularly that I see a huge pore difference, but having a moisturizer that's not too thick, that doesn't clog the pores, many elements go into that, so it's really hard to narrow out in the studies pore size because we can't reduce the amount of pores we have, but we can reduce their size. A lot goes into it, including your sunscreens and the type of cream. But rosacea as well, and then of course the acne that we talked about. What is it about vitamin B3? What are the percentages? What you should be looking for, and when shouldn't you use it? Okay, a lot there. So number 1 is, I see typically 2 to 4% on the low end. I would say 4% on the low end, up to 20% you typically see. Now, you know, as an example, a retinoic or retinol, you'd never see up to 20%. Not never, typically. The reason is it can be irritating to the skin. The nice thing about niacinamide, especially for those of you, and I know there's a lot on this channel that have super sensitive skin. I'm going to do a video coming up on microneedling, and a question someone asked about recovery from it. And you can tell their skin is super sensitive by the nature of their question. Niacinamide does not cause irritation that I see in my clients or that I see reported in the studies. So it's nice, we might say a neutral product in that sense, because a lot of people can tolerate it. It's also why it's probably my favorite summertime product, because for me, and for my patients, I can, if they want, if they're in the sun and they're worried about being on a retinol or retinoic acid, I can take them off of that and put them on something like my advanced firming with a niacinamide in it. And whatever niacinamide cream you want to use, certainly not saying go order my niacinamide, it's the best thing ever. It is the best thing ever, but whatever you're on, look for the percentages of 4 to 20. If you love what you're on, you should stick with it. The skin does like to see different products. So it's classic when someone gets a new skincare product, they love it. And then their love affair kind of dwindles a little bit. Unlike humans where it's always in bliss, you know. So the love affair with the product kind of dwindles a little bit. They get a new product and all of a sudden they're in love with it again. That's not coincidence. It's not a problem with your mind or that you needed something new in that case. A lot of times the skin was missing some ingredients. So mixing and matching and having different skincare, as long as they don't expire, I condone it. I think it's great, and you should mix and match good products. And if you have something that's working, stick with it. It's like your provider. Don't go get a new provider. I had a question today from an injector, and they had lip filler, liked it once, didn't like it. The one they liked, the provider, why didn't you go back? Oh, there's a special $50. Stick with what is working for your skin and switch when you need to. So niacinamide's neutral. It's something you can stay on summer and winter, and if you want to come off the retinoics. A word on the retinoics: they in and of themselves are not harmful. Sun isn't harmful to those products. I mean, it does oxidize it, but what's more important is those who run inflammation on their skin and now get sun exposure. And that's why niacinamide is so nice. People don't run inflammation on their skin, meaning they're not walking around inflamed. You'll see people on retinoics and retinols and they walk around inflamed because they get that tight look and they love the feel, so they use more. You titrate your dose of a retinoic so that you're not inflamed, but niacinamide, we don't really have that worry. Now, you guys don't want to go into all the mechanisms of action, I'm sure. It works by the NAD. It has to do with the NAD pathways, and NAD is a very important molecule to pick up free radicals and electrons. Long story, it prevents DNA damage. And if you really want to get into this, study Hayflick's limit and cell division. If you want to hear these things, you let me know in the comments. But in general, you want me to tell you what to do. You want me to give you the skinny, and that's why we got the Raji's quick clips. So niacinamide, in terms of rosacea, a lot of times it's multifactorial. In terms of brown spots, let's touch on melasma, because a lot of people have melasma, and the key with melasma is knowing what's triggering it. A lot of times it's sun or hormones. That's why birth control pills and pregnancy can flare it up, and certainly sun. So melasma isn't something that typically just goes away on its own. And to that end, niacinamide can work for melasma. If someone went on and said, hey, it wasn't the best thing for my melasma. Melasma is tough, it's multifactorial, but niacinamide, I have not seen it make it worse. It's very rare. So it's one of those things that can help it along with a regimen you're using. Safe in most people is what I find for my patients. Ask your provider if it's appropriate with the regimen you're on. And if you just have mild rosacea, like so many people watching here on the channel, all you need are mild treatments and prevention. Hopefully, what I'm harping on to everyone. If you never need to get a filler, an IPL, a treatment, hats off to you, the power to you. As providers, we're happy about that. So the more we prevent, and the younger generation knows this, the better it is. Niacinamide in that case is preventive. Niacinamide, go look in your skincare, see if it's there. I think 4 to 20% on the top end, but the studies, to be more specific, often study 2 to 6%. So it's not up near the 20s, but you'll see it, and they can get away with putting high concentrations. Of course, you guys like to see a lot. So when people look at ingredients, if my vitamin C, for instance, 20%, and when people purchase vitamin C, if they see 5-10%, because vitamin C can be irritating, they go, oh, I'd rather have the 20%. You know, more doesn't mean better, just like with fillers. Let me know what's your favorite skincare ingredient, what's your summertime routine. We didn't touch upon anything else like sunscreen, which is important, titrating your retinols in the summer, niacinamide, moisturizer, nourishing, vitamin C, another one we should talk about at some point, very protective from the sun's damage, UV. I use it at the end of the day, every day, because I want to help prevent the sun damage that I got during the day and help repair. Let me know, let us know in the comments. Thanks for joining me for this Raji's quick clip.